Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about linters. So what are linters? Linters, according to a Microverse lesson, which was referenced through Wikipedia. So it says linter is a tool that analyzes your source code to flag programming errors, bugs, stylish errors, and suspicious constructs. So briefly, linters, all it do is that it check your code base or your code for errors, either syntax errors and the likes. If you want to have more details about what linters is, try to learn what lessons you have in Microverse. So today we are going to be talking about how you can set up linters according to Microverse. So, and also this, you can use it in other platforms. So let us get started. Yes, this is my code, my VS Code, and I have this repository in my GitHub, which is called samples repository, and I have already cloned it. As you can see, I've cloned this repo, and here it is. In the repo, I have the index HTML and the style.css file, because in this tutorial I want to use linters to test for the CSS and the JavaScript. So I want to use linters to check our CSS style sheet file and JavaScript file. And you can see I've not added this, I've not committed anything here. So, and we can do that straight away. Let me open my index. It's just a simple, just like we have how to use a heading H1, how to use linter in Microverse, and for the size, the CSS, we just have this style. Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to push these things to my repo, and how I'm going to do that, git add. I'll be doing the two at the same time, then committing it also, and my commit message is add sample 5. Now I can say I've added it and committed at the same time. Now the next I'm going to do, I'm going to push it to my repo. Push to my repo. Good. Now I have pushed these two files to my repo, and if I should refresh my repo, I can see it already has this dev add recent pushes less than a minute. So now what I want to do now is I will create a pull request for this so that I can check what I want to do. So compare. So just write testing, and let me create a pull request. Now, good. So I've created a pull request, and in the pull request, you will notice here that there is no linter. There is no linters checking. No file is checking my CSS and my JavaScript file. So no linters, anything here. So how am I going to set that up? So how you are going to set this up is first, let us go to the Microverse page where we can set up, check the files. Good. So this is the linters config repo for Microverse, and this is what I'm going to be using to explain how you can set these linters up. And the first thing, since I'm going to be using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, so I'm going to be using this repo for this tutorial. Good. So the first thing I'm going to do is, as you can see, I'm not going to read everything down here. I will be doing that in the second part of this linter tutorial, because I'm splitting this tutorial into two. So this first one is what I'm doing today. And now, as you can see these files, we have a folder here, GitHub workflows. We have a JSON file here. We have this one. We have this one. So this is what we actually need. This is what we actually need. This is what we actually need. And try to follow me step by step so that you understand what I'm doing. So the first thing I'm going to do to set up the linters for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So I'm going to first create a folder that has another subfolder. The folder I'm going to create first is .github. So let me go back to my VS Code and make sure when you want to create this folder, make sure it is in the root directory. So in the root directory, it means I'm not creating it inside any folder. Actually, there's no folder here. There's no directory here except these files. We have only 3 files here. So to create a new directory, I can just choose this new folder. And the first folder I'm going to create is, you should pay attention. Here we have .github. This is the first folder. As you can see here, we have .github. Now this .github folder has another subfolder which is called workflows. So now we are going to create workflows inside .github directory. Now since we are still, I can see the .github is blue. I can see it means it indicates I'm still in this directory. Now I can just, if I should click out now, you see I'm in the root directory now. But if I should click on this, it means I'm in the what? GitHub directory. Now I want to create another file, another folder in the GitHub directory. What I'm going to do is I'm going to now click on this. I can see, look at the indentation also, and the directory is called workflows. Good. I can see I've created another directory inside the GitHub. Now let us open these folders. Now I can see when I open this folder, I have a file inside of it. So this file is what I'm going to use. I'm going to put in the workflows directory. And the name of the file is linters.yml. So the same thing, you have to write it also. I can see I'm still inside the workflows directory. Now click on this new file to create the linters.yml file. Now I can see I've created the linters.yml file, and the next thing I'm going to do is open this linters.yml file. It's loading. Now I've opened this linter.yml file, and I can now copy raw file. So I can copy the raw file, so I can see it is copied. Now after I copied it, I'm going to now paste it in this file. So this is all what you have to do for the first part. Now we are done with the linters.yml file. Now the second part is we should go back to our directory, repository rather, and the second file, I can see this slint.rc.json file is not inside the GitHub folder. It is also in the root directory. So you should also make yours in the root directory. Now let us create it, and pay attention to the name also. And the name, I can see this one, it means you are in the linters.yml, which is inside the GitHub folder, but you have to be in the root folder before you create the slint.rc.json file. Now to do that, just click on this part so that it is going to make you be in the root directory. Now in the root directory, create a new file, and you put the .slint.rc.json file. So now I've created another file, and let us open the file and copy the and copy the code in it, because that's the code we are going to be using. The exact code is what we are going to be using. So copy raw file. Have I copied? Okay, let me see. Copy. Okay, so I think I have the network. So now I've copied the file, and let me paste this too. So now we are done with the second part. Now sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my network. So now the next part is the int rc. So the same thing, let me open it and let me create a new file also, and this is also in the root directory too. So we have dot int rc dot json, am I correct? So now let us copy the code in it. Oh, sorry, not the JSON. I made a mistake, so I have to correct the mistake. So let me edit this. So I will rename this, and it should just be just.int.rc. Good. Now you paste this code also. Now the last part which we are going to do is the style. You can also copy the file name like this. So let me do it quickly. Another, also it is in the root directory. I'm pasting it, and enter. So you copy the code and copy the code. Then let's see if it is copied. Okay. So copy the code and paste it. I don't think no, it is not yet copied. Let me see. Copy. Okay, it is copied already. Good. So now these are all the files we need for the JavaScript and CSS linter checking. So for others, like when you get to Ruby, using React, Ruby on Rails, so we have different linters for them too. We have different linters. So, but for JavaScript, we are especially using S-lints. For the CSS, we are using stylint rc.json. So now the next I'm going to do is I'm going to add this and push to my repo. Git commit add linter file. Then let me git push. So I'm pushing. Good. Now let us go back to our repo, our sample repo, to see what will happen now. I can see initially we did not have anything like this checking. There's nothing like this checking initially. So I can see some checks haven't completed yet. So we only have this branch has no conflict with the base branch. This is what we have before when we created the pull request. But now we have the linters. Linters are checking now. I can see the linters it fails, and the stylint linter is also failing. I have a reason for that. So as to explain better. So now let us wait for everything to check and see if we have more errors. Then we can continue. Okay, now this is still checking. Now let's go back to our, now this is our slint, and slint is for checking JavaScript file, and stylint is for checking the CSS file. You can see everything has passed except these two. Now you see by the right hand side, you see details. You can click on it. You can click on it to see the details of the error. I can see the error. This is the error. But before we move on to this S-lint error, I want to check the stylings error first, because we already have a CSS file in our document, in our VS Code, in our code base. We have a what CSS file. Now, as you can see here, we have three errors. We have three errors. So in styles.css, we have three errors. The first error is telling us that on line 2, on line 2, which is this. Let me go to my styles.css file. Line 2, this is line 2. I can see line 2. So what does the error say? The error is telling us that expected indentation of 2 spaces. So we have indentation error. We have indentation error. And the indentation error, when we see it, it means when we count, let us count and see how many indentation we have. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see we have 4. And the styling, the linter is expecting us to have 2 indentation. So let us edit this and fix it. The second error, we fixed the first one. And I can see we have another error on line 3. The same thing, expected indentation of 2 spaces, indentation error likewise. So we have 4. So let us change it to 2. Good. Now I say we have 3 errors, we fixed 2. And now the last one, 4, line 4. So it means unexpected missing end of source new line. So it means this no missing end of source new line means I can see in our line on line 4 we only there's no missing line, there's no empty space after the line 4. So what this line error is telling us that we need to have an empty line like this, so making our code up as what have what 5 lines of code, so empty line. So with this we've already fixed the errors in the styles.css file. Now I can see nothing has changed here because we have not pushed to the repo. So now we are going to do the same thing. Now git add git commit fix style errors. Now git push. Now I'm pushing now. So and let's see if that error is fixed. So if it is fixed, that means we've set up our linters correctly. Now let me refresh. Let me go to my pull request. So I can see this is my pull request and it is checking again because I just pushed the repo and it is now checking. So let us wait for it to finish checking and let's see if the style CSS linter errors have been fixed. Good. I can see our style linters has been fixed because we already have the green mark here. Now we now have the S-lint, which is for JavaScript file. Now let's check the details. Now I can see the details is telling us that something went wrong. Okay, S-lint, no files matching the pattern dots we found. Now, this file, well, actually this error is somehow confusing, but what I understand from this is that this error is telling us that we did not have a JavaScript file. And if we check, you will notice that there is no JavaScript file. So let us create a JavaScript file. Now in your root folder, you create another file. Let's say app.js, and let's just add something like documents. Let me just document.get element by tag name. By tag name h1. Dot So now document.get element by tag name h1 dot inner, we can just say inner html, and let's just do something simple from JavaScript. Okay, now let us save this file and check again. So let's say git status, let me see, okay, git add, git commit, add JavaScript file, blah blah blah. Okay, now let us push. Okay, it's loading. So let us clear it. Now let us go back to our file, and you can also refresh this page to check. So instead of going to back to the, you can refresh this page, and you can see it is loading, checking. Oh, sorry. Let me go back here and see our 13 seconds. Let me see. Good. Now I can see we now have another error, and the error is one on line 1, so 58, column 58. So it means missing semicolon. So the error means is telling us that we need to add a semicolon to our code. So let's do that and let us rerun it. So let me just do this, and let me git push. Good, clear. So now let's check again to see if it is now working. Let's check again if everything is now working. So I can see it's still checking. This dots, this color here, it means it's still checking. So let us wait for it to finish checking, and let's see if we fix the linter error. Good, now I can see we fixed the linter errors. So this is how to set up to use your linters error according to Microverse. It is very simple. You just need to follow the instruction, check the files you are being given in Microverse, add it in the root directory or where it's supposed to be added, and with that you'll be able to use linters, and you'll be able to fix your code according to the instructions, the instructions in the linters. So thank you for watching. Please guys, subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, put a like on it, share it, and come back for next videos. Thank you so much, and see you in my next video. Bye bye.